Well, here we go. Dralii versus TRK, best of 5. Dralii's been on fire. After failing to qualify for Stage 1 of Salt Mine 3, he has completely bounced back with a vengeance and been dominant in Stage 2 so far. James bought the other streamer for the other match that's happening right now. He's got Rawas versus Nas, so it's a Morocco versus Saudi Arabia extravaganza in Salt Mine 3 at the moment. And Dralii with the first strike that goes way past TRK. Strong kickoff win. TRK vacated the area. Dralii created a nice angle for himself and shot the ball right into that open top corner. No chance there for TRK to react to that one. Zen plays in the following match to this. So we've got Dralii versus TRK right now. After that, we're going to have Zen versus Moxie. Then after that, we're going to have the winner of Zen versus Moxie against the loser of Rawas Nas. All sack matches for EU in the opening 3 today before he switched to North America with Daniel versus Diaz. So yeah, we're at the business end of the competition now. Every match is an absolute banger. Both players using fake challenges here, but looks like TRK's been caught at the tail end of his one. Dralii with the demo and the open net makes it 2-0. He continues to look incredibly impressive at the start of the game. TRK was a bit unlucky there, nearly escaped the demo. He had the right idea, but slowed down as he landed on the wall. Dralii was able to catch up with him. I do expect to see plenty mind games from TRK in this match. I think TRK knows how mechanical Dralii is. He knows he can't brute force this one. He loves his mind games, doesn't he? Already going for one. And just like Dralii before him, he's sniped a demo in the aftermath, and Dralii spawns far post, and that's not going to give him any chance of recovering. TRK easily converts and makes it 2-1. TRK's he's got to be careful not to get too mind game heavy. I think this is one of the mistakes TRK's made in his 1v1 game over the past couple of years. When he's against very, very mechanical, very scary opponents, he does sometimes rely too much on mind games, too much on those flip reset fakes into low shots, just like the one we saw him score off the back there. If Dralii plays that composed defensive style that he did against Zen in the group stage, TRK is going to need to actually outplay him. Dralii's not going to outplay himself all that often. James bought streaming the other game. He's going to be covering Rawas versus Nas. Then after that, he's going to be covering Vatira versus Khaled. And then he's going to be covering the loser of this match against the winner of Vatira versus Khaled. It's not the best reverse challenge there by TRK. As you can see from Dralii's POV, he was able to see TRK coming. And the reverse challenge is supposed to be a hidden tactic. You're not supposed to be visible while you're approaching. Slight problem with TRK's angle of approach, though, allowed Dralii to see him. Now TRK's got a very strong position for himself straight away from the kickoff. Dralii boost starve. TRK looking for an opening. Not able to create one, though. But does buy time for Dralii to pick up back corner boost. So look at this from TRK, though. Just all the way back to his own half. Going for the full pitch air dribble with the flip reset. He's faked it, and it goes in! Yeah, I said I expected to see a lot of fakes from him. I think this could be something that he utilizes too much. But that was a lot more convincing. He landed backwards and still managed to convince Dralii that he was planning to hit the ball. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure TRK didn't mean to land backwards there. But he made it look threatening enough. Dralii fell for it this time. The good news about TRK's fakes is he very often, in fact almost always, backs them up with a strong 50-50. That's a beautiful takeoff, actually, for long-range air dribble. Another flip reset fake into a ground shot. And notice that there's not really a window for Dralii to challenge proactively there. TRK did have full control of the ball the entire time. So although he doesn't look all that threatening with some of these flip resets, there's no opening. He's not giving Dralii an option to come and take the ball off him. Same thing again. Look at TRK backing up his flip reset with a strong 50-50. And when he can do this, it really does look unstoppable. Dralii knew TRK had a flip reset there, had to respect it, and in his attempt to force the ball into the back corner, he gets crushed in the follow-up 50-50. That's a big kickoff win for Dralii. TRK actually forced it into the back corner, grabs mid-boost as Dralii circles to the far side of the pitch. It's a beautiful takeoff position for Dralii. Such an efficient launch into the air, but his chip shot has been countered. TRK Read it well that time. Now he's waiting for the mid boost to respawn. Gets it. As Dralii looks to start another air dribble. No, instead just fakes it. Going for the ground game, Dralii. He had the option of playing for the aerial play there. Wants to keep TRK guessing. He's trying to get a read on TRK's defensive preferences. No, ball carried to air dribble. That one is shut down. TRK's jumped very early on both of these air dribble defense moves. As he backs off to grab mid boost yet again. Dralii again with a bouncing ball. And this time TRK's diving challenge gets outplayed. It's a reverse challenge for the second time in the game that Dralii sees coming. You know, Dralii, I think, just learned enough about TRK in the previous two failed attempts. And he was able to outplay him on the third try. Kickoff win for TRK because of how the follow-up has played out. Dralii right back into an influential position. In fact, into a position where he can dispossess TRK. His follow-up shot completely blocked by the Saudi Arabian pro. Early challenge by Dralii. Doesn't make good contact though. That's going to set up TRK for the boost still. Dralii running out of boost in defense. Oh, great pre-flip though to intercept. He's been demoed, but that was still well worked to survive. TRK quickly advancing down the middle of the pitch. Looks like an air dribble bump, and it lands. And Dralii just can't quite get back. TRK with a beautiful transition after demoing Dralii once. Just immediately attacks and gets into position to bump Dralii out of the way. Once again tying the game. Then Dralii with the kickoff possession. TRK unable to force him out of position. Oh, well played though by TRK. That's phenomenal work to clear the ball by this distance. He would have been in a lot of trouble if he backed off. Dralii trying to outplay a TRK dive. This time TRK doesn't dive. He's mixing up his defense well late into the first game here. As Dralii has had the majority of control, even though a lot of it's been in his back corner, and he fights fire with fire. Air dribble bump by TRK at one end, air dribble bump by Dralii at the other. This one is a much more methodical setup, but no less effective. Both creating goals with the physical game. Dominant game when it comes to possession for Dralii. TRK's had plenty space to work with though, and this time he uses it well. Clean double tap, even a slow finish to go past the pre-jumping Dralii. Dralii expected a faster shot. TRK just cushions it with the underside of the car. Drops it in for 5-5, the third equalizer of the game. TRK's yet to have a lead though. He's not going to have an easy time getting one here. Oh, actually, Dralii bailed on the back corner boost, and he's almost own goal there. TRK decides not to dive at the near post. But Dralii has to be careful. TRK is right in his face. Oh, TRK in no man's land, though. Dralii finds a way through. TRK confidently challenges the near post, tries to pre-flip to keep the ball in the air. Can't do it. We go into overtime in game one. Almost a dead ball kickoff, but Dralii does take control just about here. TRK thinking about sticking around in the area. In fact, he does. Can he get this moving quickly enough? No. The boost isn't quite respawning there, so TRK is going to play the ball first and then pick up the boost on spawn. Dralii outplayed TRK 6-5. It's his first lead of the game, but it's the most important one. What timing on the boost respawn there by TRK. He got it as he was leaving the pad. That gave him the facilities to outplay Dralii. Unreal. Absolutely unreal boost management. Ridiculous timing by TRK, who eventually found a way through Dralii. And yeah, what a close stat line that is. Very interesting. You see the possession in favor of Dralii, field control in favor of TRK. That means a lot of Dralii possession in defense on the Next Rank post-game stats. Now, special shout out today for the Next Rank, as well as the one video per week that we're putting out on the Next Rank email list that you can join via the nextrank.com, link in description, or using !TNR in Twitch chat. We're also going to be releasing a preview of just a rough draft we've got for just one of the videos that's going to be part of the Next Rank Rocket League course. So if you want access to that, as well as one video per week, one unlisted video per week by myself and apparently Jack, then sign up on the nextrank.com. That one's going to be going out at the end of this week. Not entirely sure the exact day. But yeah, I can. Do you guys want to know what it's about? I think I can leak the topic as well if you want. I imagine that's going to be a yes. It's going to be our double tap tutorial. You guys who are interested in getting better at double taps, or maybe if you're not interested in getting better at double taps, then give it a watch, and we might convince you that it's something that's worth your time. Yeah, feedback always welcome on these, since this is just an early release, not a final draft by any means. And yeah, for free, so you can all have access to that via thenextrank.com. And yeah, if you want access, reminder is in !TNR in the Twitch chat, or link in description, or the box underneath the stream. You've never missed a double tap? I don't believe you. You've already mastered double taps? I don't believe you either. 1-0 Dralii. He's right back to where he started in this series. It's been very interesting to watch Dralii's strategy in this tournament. It seems like his strategy against Zen is popping up more and more here. Versus Zen, Dralii mostly sat back. He was quite happy to give Zen the midfield, as long as it meant that Dralii had control of the ball for the majority of plays. And he's done the exact same thing against TRK here. It hasn't got him a game win, but he does look like he's got a great chance in the matchup. Now, how's TRK's pace here? He's looking for the post-pitch save, can't get it. Lovely placement by Dralii. That's a really good shot from distance. Plenty power. And the save as well. To reactively save TRK's shot from that range shows how confident Dralii is with, 1, his reflexes, and 2, his mechanical consistency. TRK pre-jumping early there to scare Dralii away from any kind of immediate play. But Dralii just so calm in the approach. Doesn't air dribble into the pre-jump. Doesn't flick into the pre-jump. Couple of fakes in the approach. And then a point-blank range finish for 2-0. Oh, sorry, 3-0 actually. I'm already discrediting Dralii, it would seem. TRK is going to make it a 2-goal difference, though. Maybe that was a leak of the script. A lot of kickoffs have stayed pretty central in this matchup. That one obviously goes more to the side of the pitch. Phenomenal work by TRK to trip Dralii as he was trying to fight for the possession there. Might have a chance to go for another one here. No, TRK actually backs away from the ball. Didn't want to get bumped by Dralii. He knew he was in a bit of a compromised position. Fake seal and challenge TRK. Dralii not going to bite on it, and then TRK lunges. He's had to use a lot of boost for that lunge, though. Dralii has got the boost advantage, so even though TRK briefly dispossessed him, possession changed his hands again. Oh my goodness, what a save by TRK. You've got to be joking me. Dralii advancing into the back corner to seal the boost away and hopefully continue his attack. TRK is passed to himself off the inside of his own post while saving a top bins flick. That is one of the best saves I think I've ever seen. Not just because he's kept it out of the net, but he's produced a goal at the other end. You can't blame Dralii for that. I mean, who even tries to pass the ball off the inside of their own post in that position? It really did look like TRK meant that in the follow-up play. And now Dralii with the boost advantage. TRK with a successful reverse challenge, though. It buys him time to back off and grab 100. TRK again closes the distance. He's starting to get a read on these controlling touches from Dralii. It might be time for Dralii to just boom one touch or flick early to deny TRK these early entries into the play. TRK reset actually used this time. It looks like it did surprise Dralii. So sneaky with his flip resets, TRK. I know a lot of you guys watching wish that he would just use more of them and actually flip into the ball more often, because it's really fun to watch, but he doesn't just flip into the ball because he can. He really thinks about when it's advantageous to do so and really tries to keep his opponent guessing. Dralii with a demo dodge, now TRK with an early interception. That's a huge play by the Saudi Arabian player. Perfect shot to make it 3-3. He denied Dralii's time-wasting touch here. Dralii was trying to bounce that into the curve to put it up the wall, away from TRK. TRK keeps control. And that denied Dralii any time that he was looking for to grab the back corner boost. Immense performance thus far by TRK, but Dralii still in a tie game situation. Flip reset from him. Scary in the approach. TRK reads it the whole way, though. And he's all over Dralii in the aftermath. Oh, what a transition by Dralii. Beautiful recovery. He missed the boost on the exit, though. Just barely. He was trying to slide into it, but TRK able to counter. And what a difference that boost miss makes Dralii was not able to control his power slide. He was not able to control his recovery and seal the boost. TRK clinical with another heavy hit on the counter-attack. Just his second goal lead of the series, but his comebacks have been undeniable today. Dralii nullifies it. The kickoff goal. Bit of a delayed approach on that one with the option of the wave dash recovery. Dralii didn't even need to go for it though, because the net was actually wide open with TRK bouncing off the ball. TRK responds with a kickoff win of his own, but he's going to need to outplay Dralii if he wants a goal off it, and outplay Dralii he does. I mean, I was briefly critical of his overuse of the flip reset fakes earlier on. He has proven that it can work even against a defensive master like Dralii, and he's definitely not overused them today. He's been so sneaky, so unpredictable with his flip reset game, with his aerial game. Dralii shrugged off that bump really well. TRK looking to send Dralii absolutely flying there. Dralii denied him, still boost advantage TRK. He's used that to build some momentum, fake flick. No boost steal though. He might actually have a goal off the back of this. He can't reach it. TRK still probing, really trusting his offensive prowess here to keep this attack going. Quite a few of these 50-50 TRKs taken have been in risky positions for most players, but for him, he has the faith in his 50-50 ability. Lunging challenge, outplayed, Dralii spots the dive. Crucial moment there for Dralii. Not only has he scored to tie the game, but he'll have TRK second guessing any future lunging challenges. Dralii can probably take his time on his next play, as he's preferred to do for the majority of his plays today. Dralii looking to get the ball into space. TRK taking it away from him. Dralii straight down the middle of the pitch with the air dribble. No reset on this one. 50-50 high into the bar. TRK goes for the boost, can't get back. Dralii up 6-5. Like, even though he didn't have a flip reset in this position, TRK flipped very far in front of the ball, jumped really far in front of that one. Probably worried that Dralii's got some kind of plan to get ahead of the ball and bump him. Or, you know, definitely expecting Dralii to hit the ball harder than he did in that position. TRK needs to come back again. Dralii taking his time. Of course, he outplayed an early lunge in the last play, so he doesn't expect TRK to lunge on this one. TRK indeed did not lunge this time around, but Dralii's failed to get the ball past him from closer range. And now it's TRK with a direct pop. Dralii trying to quickly get back. I think he could just about make this. Yes, he can. TRK's got an advantageous position. Boost advantage. Dralii reads the first touch, closes the gap, and now heads over to the 100 boost at the far side of midfield. TRK straight down the middle again with the air dribble. Wants to dunk it past Dralii. Does so, but Dralii's faster to recover and keep control of that back corner boost. Here comes Dralii with another air dribble down the middle. This time he does have a flip reset. Doesn't use it though. He may not have actually had a flip reset. Either way, he decided not to use one. He's missed. It's going to be TRK equalizing with just 11 seconds left. And that is a sequence of misplays by Dralii. Lost control of his aerial play at one end, misses his overhead clear at the other, and TRK gets a tie game once again late on, and he might be able to win this one. Dralii has to flip in a dangerous position. He manages to avoid any potential demo. TRK fake 50, looking to dispossess Dralii, which he appears to have done so. And it's TRK with the aerial play, looking for the air dribble bump. Dralii gets a piece of it, and we go overtime for the second game in a row. Looks like Dralii's going to have the first kickoff going his way, and it's heavily in his favor. This time he was afraid of the early lunge by TRK, who faked the challenge and successfully dispossessed Dralii. Dralii's dunked on TRK big time there though. TRK slaps it into his own crossbar, and now here comes Dralii again, circling, looking for the win, but the flick fails him. It's still Dralii with the advantage. Another flick. This one just about goes in, but no, TRK keeps it off the goal line. You've got to be kidding me. Dralii was, I think, 90% of the way in, but couldn't get it across the goal line. Now he comes, the flip reset and the pinch goes over TRK, but also over the bar. Well, I cannot believe that Dralii hasn't scored in that sequence. But now it's going to be TRK with a chance to air dribble from distance, which he takes. Early flip reset, counters the challenge of Dralii, looks for the bump, which Dralii is not left open. Now it's advantage TRK. Dralii's backwards. TRK's got the ball in his goal line, but Dralii escapes with miraculous recoveries. Both players are somehow pulling themselves out of impossible situations. It's Dralii, a minute and 10 into OT, with the flick to the top corner. I have absolutely no idea how these guys have survived this long into overtime. It's been on a knife edge the entire minute and 10 seconds. Oh, what a way to tie the series. Dralii back in it and in style. No panic there as TRK had him completely on the wrong side of the ball in defense, inches away from a goal. Dralii just dribbles the ball to safety. It's more of the same, but less exaggerated this time. TRK with a bit more field control, a lot more boost. Look at the boost advantage there by TRK. Massive, using 900 more boosts than Dralii in that game. But yeah, field control again to TRK. Is Dralii happy to play defensively for the most part. Let's take a look at what's happening in the other match here. We've got Roas versus Nas happening on JamesBot's channel as we go through this one. And it looks like Nas has taken the opening game. Morocco really showing up here in stage 2. I think most viewers probably expected Roas versus Nas to be the more one-sided matchup, with Roas being the favorite there, whereas TRK Dralii, I think, at least when it comes to power rankings, is a bit closer. But Nas is really, really showing up for stage 2, so credit to him as he continues his very impressive stage 2 run. So game 3, and Dralii is going to try out his BDS decal here. Dralii, of course, has been signed by BDS, so this is exciting for all of the 3v3 fans watching, I'm sure. TRK looking to outplay him early. That was a really nice, there's almost vertical flick there. Would have outplayed any kind of challenge, but Dralii's not dove in at risky positions too often today. Heavy hit from Dralii makes it 1-0. TRK ended up just a little bit in no man's land there. Thought he had time to grab the mid boost. He did not. Dralii shoots first time and puts the ball past him. Yeah, JamesBot's going to be, he's the one streaming the other match right now. It's JamesBot who's got the other Salt Mine 3 match on his channel, Roas versus Nas. And JamesBot's going to be covering all 3 rounds of the competition for Europe today, alongside myself. So definitely check him out if you have the ability, if you've got 2 monitors, if you've got the internet connection, the PC that lets you watch 2 series at once. Roas sounds like he's struggling in that matchup, which is a big surprise. I mean, the series here is completely deadlocked. 2 overtimes, now 1-1 in game 3. Can TRK split the difference with the flip reset? No. Very slow shot on that one. He had to respect Dralii's first time effort. Dralii advances and flicks perfectly over him. No recovery to shoot the ball again quickly, but he didn't need to. TRK really took his time. It's off the bar though. TRK again survives in a very tense situation in defense. I don't think TRK expected Dralii, with how calculated and how careful he's been with most of his plays today. I don't think he expected him to go there. It did result in him getting outplayed. Dralii slow playing again. This time TRK does make contact with this reverse challenge, which has had mixed success today. The reverse challenge has not been as deceptive and as sneaky as TRK would like. And TRK is going to take the ball back into his own half. This is something Dralii's done a ton in this matchup, but TRK's done it on occasion as well. It doesn't look like Dralii's all that interested in lunging in and trying to demo TRK in the back corners. It's probably something TRK could look to do more often. And look at this. The threat of the demo was enough to force Dralii to miss this save by a long way. Dralii looking to dodge into the ball there. Just dodged the wrong way though, as TRK put himself directly between Dralii and the ball. That's the one thing that, you know, not really putting pressure on your opponent does allow them to do, is they can just consistently dribble the ball back. If you want your opponent to stop just dribbling the ball back into their half and starting attacks with a run-up from that position, whether it's an aerial attack or a ground attack, you need to get all over them. You need to deny the turn. If you can get into their back corner and pressure them before they turn and face you, then it's a lot more difficult for them to get an attack started. You can actually be the player who's threatening in the position. Oh, Dralii's actually created a goal out of nothing here. Well, TRK definitely left the door open on this one. A very nice first touch by Dralii. Great read, actually. TRK wasn't in Dralii's vision. I think Dralii just read that TRK was going to be positioning to chase him down the line and not covering the immediate shot. It's Dralii with the boost advantage. After the next kickoff as well, TRK with just enough boost to challenge and secure the mid-100. Oh, he's been demoed. Well, Dralii has gone up 3-2. How did he get a demo in this position? TRK is definitely not ready for it. It looks like Dralii just boosted into a flip and it barely got into supersonic in order to demo TRK there. You can clearly see he did have a supersonic trail after the demo landed though, so no doubt the flip accelerated him sufficiently. It's composed defense there from TRK. Dralii, of course, very happy to take the ball back, but notice what TRK is doing. He's all over Dralii there. Dralii can't turn around and start a dribble. He can't get the ball into an air dribble position before TRK arrives. And that actually allows TRK to dispossess him. Dralii could not do the same thing going the other way. It's a delayed shot by TRK. Double mind game for 3-3. He is just so convincing with it. Flip reset. He's got possibility of hitting that one as it bounces. Doesn't do it. Just jumps behind the ball a second time. And Dralii falls for that one as well. There's no clear moment where Dralii can challenge there. It's not obvious. He just has to decide to go at one of these points if he's going to stop TRK from having successful mind games. TRK completely reading Dralii on that play. Dralii thought TRK would back off. TRK calls the bluff. Dralii's threatening a booming hit here. Even jumped off the wall to threaten a dodge into the ball. And TRK correctly identified that there was really no danger there that Dralii was threatening. That's the difference in those mind games. TRK really threatening something in the setup for his mind game. Dralii wasn't. There was nothing there for TRK to be afraid of. With the way that Dralii was angling his car, it was very clear that he was trying to control the ball, not hit it past TRK. It's a very early dodge off the wall there. A jump off the wall by TRK. Dralii's save does put the ball into a position he can attack, but he's lost control of it. Nice recovery by TRK. Very safe there as he retreated away from Dralii, taking his time. Going to play off the bounce on the ground instead. The second bounce on the ground. Double reset TRK, and it's going to be a 2-goal lead for the first time in the match for the Saudi Arabian player. Today, he's definitely using his resets enough to keep Dralii guessing. I have absolutely no complaints about how he's used his aerial game on this occasion. You know, whereas in the past, I think he has underutilized his ability to flip reset. His world-class ability to flip reset, I might add. Today is not one of those days. TRK finds the balance and hits Dralii with a clean double reset. Straight up air dribble, forces a save out of Dralii. More time wasted. TRK keeps control as he takes the ball back into his own end. Fakes taking it across his own goal, instead going to keep it in the back corner, where Dralii's shown no interest in challenging for this entire series. This is not comfortable for Dralii. He's not in a position that he wants to be right now. TRK with a quick wall shot. It's past Dralii for 6-3. And Dralii calls next. Wow, what a win by TRK, forcing the forfeit with 28 seconds left. That's definitely enough time for Dralii to come back with, no question about it. But he must just feel so helpless right now, understanding that, well, if TRK gets control of the ball once in the next 3 kickoffs, I'm done for. Not even going to bother trying. For the first time in the match, it's actually Dralii who had more field control here. TRK using Dralii's own strategy against him seems to work out really well, got to say. I think he should do that again, where he just takes the ball back into his own half. It doesn't look like Dralii has confidence to advance and challenge in the back corner. Challenge TRK when he's got control of the ball in defense, in the same way TRK does when it's Dralii with control in the back corner. TRK actually more possession for the first time in the game as well, and a much more even boost distribution, although still TRK favored. Can we take let's bring in the blimp and see what's happening in the bracket. Actually, I don't even know if it's the blimp that brings in the bracket. It's not. Sorry, we don't have the blimp for that one. Unfortunate. But it's going to be 2-0. Roas struggling against Nas. Both of the top seeds, Dralii and Roas, are both losing right now. These are the #1 players from Group A and B, respectively. It was Dralii in Group A, Roas in Group B, and now they're both up against it. And Nas is having a massive Stage 2 in this competition after finishing 5th place in his group in Stage 1. He is now looking to take down Roas and advance to guaranteed top 4 in the second stage of the competition. That's a great pre-jump save there by TRK to deny Dralii the opening goal of the game. Dralii's been the player scoring for the majority of the goals early in these games. It's TRK who's adapted later. Looks like more of the same gear as Dralii, 50-50s it past him. TRK went a bit too high into that 50-50 and also kind of flipped away from goal side, leaving it relatively available for Dralii to just go straight through it. What's Dralii's intentions here? Wants the ground game. That wasn't the easiest first touch off the wall, so I think good idea to say no to it. Another 50-50 threatened. Dralii with the aerial shot afterwards. TRK saves it halfway through the goal line and then gets ready to save the next shot as well. That's a lovely play by TRK in defense. Baited the shot by making it look like he's going to go for the big boost and then controlled the save in order to counter-attack as well. This time his delayed shot is not going to go through Dralii, who was able to react to it. But in these backcorner positions, look how much more willing TRK is to really get in Dralii's face, threaten bumps, threaten 50-50s, and just in general deny Dralii that easy setup on the counter-attack. Compare that to now Dralii. He's preferring to just fully back off. Notice there, no real threat. That wasn't so much a fake challenge as just the kind of a posturing move where, yes, Dralii is trying to put some pressure on TRK, but there's nowhere near the same pressure here. TRK is exerting way more pressure on Dralii when Dralii's in control of the ball. And I think that's what's given him, at least in my opinion, the edge in the series here. Zero boost TRK, going to continue to stick around in the area. Great pathing there by TRK, keeping an eye on Dralii while picking up all the small boost pads. The whole time there, TRK had his eye on the ball, and he was still able to pick up all the pads. Oh my goodness, it's another 50-50 though by Dralii. That's 2 goals from the same position with the same tactic. Dralii, threatening high, goes low, and that's a beautiful recovery as well. I'm not sure he needed to recover like that, but of course it doesn't harm him to slide into position a little bit more quickly. Make it even more impossible for TRK to get back into position to save the shot. So far, clean game 4 for the Moroccan. It's another low 50 attempt, this time mid-air by Dralii. TRK has to be careful. Great timing on the boost there from TRK. Got it at the exact respawn. I think Dralii knows though, or wait, did he? Maybe he didn't, because he advanced here. I think, yeah, he must have known that TRK had boosted in this position. Either way, Dralii caught off guard by a heavy hit from midfield. Great timing on it by TRK though. As soon as Dralii advanced, the shot was flying over his head. It's going to be a fight for the mid boost, which Dralii wins. TRK forced it back way off here. Dralii immediately opens up a threatening angle. TRK lunging in, not going to make contact. And it's a tutorial on angle in your approach from Dralii. He knew TRK was backing off the full length of the pitch, so he switches sides, and look how much more dangerous it is. Look how much more angles TRK has to worry about. Dralii easily outplays him with a nice cut in field. There's a move you can all try at home in your own games. It's all about the strategy, all about countering your opponent's position. TRK trying to slot immediately. Gets a nice demo on the back wall here. Dralii's going to spawn between TRK and the goal. That doesn't actually give him the best position here, because although he can save the first shot, TRK can force the boost steal quite easily. And now the direct air dribble to the far post. Denied by Dralii. TRK still in the area though, looking for the goal and the rebound. Can't get it. Dralii staying nice and close to the ball as he tries to defend the continued attack from TRK. Top bins. Finish by TRK. Cannot be saved. Dralii had the right idea there, but once again he's been caught out of position by TRK's shooting. Prowess, 2 shots over Dralii in this game. Now Dralii's beamed his kickoff, but it looks like TRK was unable to really force a big win in the position. Heavy touch by Dralii in defense. TRK's all over it. Demo is threatened. Dralii stays safe. And once again, denies the option of air dribbling off the wall. Instead cuts infield and starts to look for a counter on TRK's early challenge. This time it doesn't come though. TRK is the one who bumps Dralii. Dralii was looking for the air dribble bump. TRK actually bumped him out of position. Very quick thinking there by TRK, but he nearly put himself in a precarious position while doing it. So once again, he shows his willingness. Pressure Dralii, as Dralii's in control of the ball. Dralii boxing TRK out of the play. Threatening a demo and then controlling the ball back to his own half again. Dralii has found a lot of success doing this in this tournament, but TRK has had more success countering it than anyone else we've seen so far. Once again, he's been able to dispossess Dralii and get going with the air dribble. He's slightly off target left here, quite a lot of work to do. Too much work. Dralii stops him quite easily. And now he's got an advantage. TRK just goes straight in for the 50-50 though with no fear. And he might have a shot on target here. Decides not to go for it. Dralii's recovery respected there by TRK. Closing seconds, so he's going to need to go for something. So the ball is just doing laps right now, and that favors Dralii, who's currently in the lead. Fake 50-50 by Dralii. Buys him some time. Hit the ball over TRK, who needs to go for the big play right now, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Perfect first touch. TRK with the flip reset. Oh, he's in front of the ball, though. He's got to go again. I don't think he can. Oh, if he can get this back up into the air, that would be amazing. He can't do it. And it will be game 5 between Dralii and TRK. Such a shame there for TRK. He had a great takeoff. It was not an easy position, but he had a perfect takeoff to set up that air dribble. The reset just put him in front of the ball, so he didn't have the option of using it. Never mind the confidence to use it. Well, we're going to game 5 here. Let's see what's happening with Rawas versus Nas. Looks like a couple of you guys have written in the chat in between, or rather during this game, to let us know, but let's confirm it in the bracket. It's 2-1 now. Rawas fighting back, so he's not done. So the top seed's fighting back in the quarterfinals here. Remember that neither of these matches are elimination matches, but they're also the only matches in the playoffs that are not elimination matches. Every other match after this, after these two, will have one player being eliminated. So TRK's got to look out for those low 50-50s. He got in trouble early in game 4 by diving in a bit too high to his challenges. It was Dralii spotting the TRK reverse challenges early in the series that got him some success, and then later in the series it's going low on TRK's direct challenges. All right, here we are for game 5 though. Dralii and TRK are ready to go, so let's get it started. Winner advances to top 4 in the playoffs, and Dralii has forgotten which way he's scoring. Well, whatever Dralii did during the break, it didn't work, because he's tried to take that to his own back corner and he's just forgotten to dodge. He just single jumped into the ball and own goal. Yeah, clearly he forgot. He tried to dodge there to take it to the back corner, but the single jump made later contact with the ball and just put it on target. Nightmare start for Dralii. Yeah, he didn't mention what he needed a minute break for. Hopefully he's settled in this game. I would hate to see him bomb out with a bad game 5 after a stellar performance here. Because TRK is no doubt going to bring the heat. Oh, what a save by Dralii. How about that for a control post pitch save? Has he given away a goal afterwards? No, TRK's hit the bar. TRK's still putting a ton of pressure on Dralii here. Dralii doing well. In fact, he's equalized against the run of play. Dralii ties the game. Monstrous defensive stand. And then an immediate counter on TRK, who was just trying to wait for Dralii to lose control of the ball there so he could get back into attack. Now TRK wins the kickoff to his own back corner here. Dralii thinking about challenging. He's gone very far forward there, but does make it back to secure the ball before TRK can counter. TRK not messing around in game 5 so far. All these early plays in attack, I mean, that didn't amount to anything immediately, but that's just something that Dralii has to worry about. Anytime TRK makes a quick play on the ball, anytime he makes a quick challenge or an aggressive move, it'll be something that Dralii takes a mental note of, and that just allows TRK's fakes to work later on in the game with greater effect. Dralii there winning the ball back without really having to do too much. TRK was afraid of Dralii diving in. It's another great hit by Dralii. Oh, it's a perfect shot once again. 2-1. Dralii with some confident shooting. He had a quick glance behind him there to see where TRK was, and he knew that there's no way TRK could save a perfect shot, and a perfect shot is what he produces. Too good, too clinical. Dralii again opting for the infield dribble. He's saying no to a lot of these off-the-wall air dribbles today. And this is why he can consistently outplay TRK's aggression with immediate flicks from perfect first touches. I mean, it looked like an awkward ball there. It looked like it was going to be difficult for Dralii to get it up into the air, but the last second he got under it, flicked it over TRK's challenge. TRK thought Dralii had lost control of it. He had not. Oh, Dralii misses that one. That was a chance for 4-1. And now it's TRK with a chance for 3-2. Flip reset is good. TRK lifting and launching the shot over the top of Dralii there. And with all the mind games that TRK's threatened, all the mind games TRK's used with the 0 game so far, Dralii did not see that one actually being used against him. Big 50-50 into the backboard there for TRK. Dralii's actually lunged at it. I'm not sure about that first touch from TRK. He's put himself in a bit of a tricky position here. Let's see if he can outplay Dralii with a very tight angle. This time he uses the mind game, but plays the shot straight into Dralii's pre-jump. TRK, as always, quick in the retreat, and that's a very creative pass to himself, using the curve above his own goal. TRK with the boost steal and the demo. It's open. He's going to try and get this one into the middle. Oh, well worked by TRK. That's just so controlled. Whereas many players would have rushed this one, tried for the double tap. TRK knew he had time to just pass to himself and make it absolutely certain that he's tying the game. Sounds like game 5 between Rawas Nas is equally close. The opening round of Salt Mine 3 EU Stage 2 playoffs delivering so far. And TRK mixes up the flip reset plays once again. He's absolutely inside Dralii's head right now. As always, he has full control. He's threatening the high shot that he previously scored, and he just slots it underneath the pre-jumping Dralii. Dralii's going to be in a dangerous position here. TRK didn't get a bump on him though. Good speed by Dralii, but TRK still slots over the top of him. The aggression from TRK is winning in game 5. Dralii thought he had time to turn here. TRK just flips into the ball. Obviously, if both players flip into the ball there, it's going into the back corner, and Dralii will have the boost and the counter attack. Right now, he doesn't have the aggression to pull that kind of thing off. What he does have is ground shots. Dralii back within 1. And neither of these players were able to make top 4 during stage 1 of the competition. Dralii wasn't even in stage 1 of the competition. It's going to be an improvement for one of them. Oh, TRK nearly sends a screamer into Dralii's goal. More mix up with the resets. Now pre-jump on Dralii's ground shot. Dralii in a very strong position. Now he takes to the air with perfect control. Air dribble dunk by Dralii. Deflected into the post by TRK. Dralii trying to keep the ball in an active position here. He doesn't want to give TRK time to buy time to grab boost, I should say. TRK has closed the gap here. And he does have time to grab boost, but it's the back corner. And Dralii with the air dribble bump. TRK recovers after the bump and flies back into the ball to save it. Not a lot of boost. In fact, no boost for TRK though. And he's out of position. And Dralii's got an open net to tie the game. What a move by Dralii, just popping the ball and jumping to dodge the demo at the same time. Just a perfect first touch as we enter the final minute of the game. Completely level once again. Dralii with a strong kick off to the side. Will he go off the wall this time? What you want is more infield dribbling for Dralii. TRK fakes a challenge. The flick is high. TRK had a lot of the goal covered there. But no doubt he's scared to dive in from these kind of positions because Dralii has outplayed him when he's challenged even out of vision. Now Dralii into the air again. Flip reset. TRK shadowing the entire distance. Shot from Dralii. Top corner. Just like TRK before him, Dralii backs him up with the threat of the flip and then perfectly shoots the ball to continue a fifth game which has had clinical finishing from the Moroccan. Will it be Morocco or Saudi Arabia coming out on top on both streams right now? TRK looking to tie the game. Reset sends him miles away from the ball though. Dralii on the counter has a wide open net and he scores. TRK loses control at the worst possible time. He could not get back to the ball. And Dralii capitalizes to go up 2 goals. All he needs is control now, and this series will be his. He does have control. Dralii going to try and add one more to his tally though. High flick to the backboard. He bails out though before attempting a double. TRK now on the counter. Great boost management by him. He rips a shot into the crossbar. No goal yet, and now no time for TRK. More power on the flick. Dralii uses his own crossbar to pinch it clear. Dives in to get one more touch of the ball to secure victory. It's Dralii who wins in game 5. Absolutely incredible series by these two. But Dralii shows up huge in the final game with this new controlled style that he did not use when he first burst onto the one scene. He looks to be one of the favorites to win this stage of Salt Mine 3. Very impressive stuff. And do we have replays ready for the series? Because this was an absolute banger. We've got to take another look at it. Let's go straight into that. Waste no time in recapping what's happened here. And that, of course, gives me a chance to shout out the official podcast of Salt Mine 3, the Chalkcast. Shout out to my co-hosts Rizzo and CJ. And all of the Chalkcast community who have been keeping the conversation about Rocket League active during the off-season. Last night we had a chance to talk to T-Bates about his ideas for Rocket League format in the future, RLCS format in the future. It was great to have T-Bates on again and catch up with him and hear what he's been getting up to. So yeah, that I think should be available on YouTube now if you want to watch it yourselves. I'll just actually go and check. While we do that, let's take a look at the post-series stats and see more of Dralii's preferred style. Actually evening out the field control at the end of the game there. In fact, evening out the possession as well. So although Dralii started off with not a lot of possession, or rather all possession and not a lot of field control kind of evened out. But yeah, it's boost for TRK, possession for Dralii clearly being prioritized. Dralii coming out on top here with game 4 and 5 victories. Remember, exclamation mark chalked in the Twitch chat, by the way, if you want to access the Chalkcast Discord or the Chalkcast Patreon for bonus content. And links in YouTube descriptions, of course, as always. We can take a look at the bracket, see if we've got a confirmation from the Roas and Nas series. Looks like we do. Yeah, it has been Morocco. Victory for Morocco is France versus Saudi Arabia in stage 1 of the competition. Now Morocco has joined the equation. And just look at that bracket that we've got for you guys today. Up next on this stream is going to be Moxie versus Zen. And then after that, we've got the winner of Moxie versus Zen against Rawas. In elimination matches, only one of Moxie, Zen, and Rawas is making top 4. Unbelievable. Same is true for Vatira, Khaled, and TRK as well. This is an unreal bracket. James Watt's going to be covering the Vatira, Khaled, TRK side of the bracket from here on, and I'm going to be taking you guys through Moxie, Zen, and Rawas. Yeah, looking forward to that one. I hope you guys are also. Let's take a quick look at the points before we go to a short break. We're going to be getting the next round started for you guys very shortly. But that does confirm that Nas and Dralii have advanced further up the points table. Nas has joined, TRK on and now pulling 6 points, and Dralii is just 1 point back. So it's getting very, very close there in the middle. But yeah, we could have a pretty clear top 8 forming if Vatira could beat Khaled in the next round. If Khaled wins, I mean, it's just wide open there for top 8. It's going to be amazing to see who can come out on top in that rematch. In the very next match on James Watt's stream. Anyway, guys, that's all for the first match of the day. Hopefully we've got more like that coming up. It's Zen versus Moxie after the break, so don't go too far. We're going to go and get that one ready for you guys, and we'll see you in a few minutes.